My name is Mumia Obsidian Ali. I am one of the, I guess you could say, founding fathers of the Black Manosphere, as well as the Black Manosphere Conclave. Black Manosphere was founded in 2015. It was me, the Angry Man, and O'Shea Duke Jackson. And it was over on YouTube, and it was like, podcasts and whatnot. We did that independently of each other, but we all kind of had a mutual goal, which was to air Black men's voices in real time about the issues of the day. For many years, Black women have had a voice in media, representation in media. We have no issue with that. We think Black women should have that. But we felt that the conversation was lopsided. The three of us, again, independently of each other, all kind of converged in 2015 to form what will become known as the Black Manosphere. As regards the Black Manosphere Conclave, Shannon, Rawls, Theo Waff, and myself, we all came out of Kevin Samuels's private members-only Facebook group, and it was called The Mix. We all met up there. Theo had this crazy idea of teaching Black men what he had learned in the tech field, information technology and so on and so forth. He wanted to see more Black men in the field. He had worked a long time. He had lived in Japan. He worked for a big bank over there. And then he came back to the States and worked in the STEM industry and noticed that there was a lack of Black men in it. There were a lot of Pakistani, Indian, and so on and so forth in that field. And he noticed that the men there essentially established a pipeline that these gentlemen could go establish a beachhead in this country and then go into those industries. What he wanted to do was put together a vehicle where the same thing could happen for Black men in the United States. So he partnered with me and some other gentlemen in 2021 in Atlanta, and we had our first ever Black Manosphere Conclave. It was very successful. Then we came back in 2022 and did it again in Philadelphia, my hometown, again, very successful. And last year, we went back to Atlanta for the third conclave, even bigger, and here we are in 2024, and this is the biggest conclave we've done yet in Houston at the Four Seasons. Early plans are in the works to go to Miami for next year's conclave. Shannon came on board in 2022. He's been an immense get and pickup for us. Our goal was to get 300 Black men in the STEM field making good money. That's very important. Black men need to make as much money as possible. We don't shy away from that. We don't shy away from success. We don't shy away from hard work, from goal setting and discipline. And we started out 2021 within 5 years. So as of this year alone, we've met that goal. As of this year alone. So that's not accounting 2021, 22, and 23. As for what got me into all of this, well, I got tired of the conversation, so to speak, the way that it was always slanted in the media, Oprah Winfrey, Essence Magazine, Madame Noir, as well as the white mainstream media. One day, I got myself a really cheap microphone. It was like a $30 Logitech microphone with a headset. And I had a laptop at the time. And I went into my bathroom, and I sat down on the toilet, and I set the laptop on the sink, and I made my first ever 15-minute podcast on YouTube. It was June 2nd, 2015. And from there, it would grow to 30,000 subscribers. Wound up last year making Playboard. Playboard is like the YouTube equivalent of Billboard. I made the Playboard top 100 most super chatted YouTubers in the country 8 times in 2023. I wrote my first book, the Book of Obsidian, a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. We call it the Black Book. I wrote that as a result of going to a Derek Jackson event, wall-to-wall packed, women, overwhelmingly Black. It's like 95% were Black. And it was, standing room only. While I was sitting there, as I said to myself, I just got really, not really like angry. Yeah, you know what, fuck that. Yeah, I was really angry. I said, you know what, this is insane. This is ridiculous. If these guys can do it, I know I can do it. So I made a decision right then and there. I'm going to write a book, but it's not going to be for Black women, it's going to be for Black men. That's what I did. I got with O'Shea, who at the time owned a digital magazine, Black men's lifestyle magazine called the Negro Manosphere. And I pitched him an idea. I said, listen, man, would you be interested in having a columnist every week writing about relationship issues from a black male perspective? And as it turned out, he just had an opening for one. Every week, I took those columns starting in the summer of 2019 and put them all together in what would become the Book of Obsidian. And I needed to be a big, bold book. So that's the reason why it's called the Book of Obsidian. It has a bold title, an audacious title. Who the fuck do you think you are title? I wanted it to be big, a door stopper. Kevin called it a War and Peace. I wanted it to be serious. I thought that black men deserved a serious book. A book that's well written, has sources cited, well done, well made. I took a lot of time to research the book. I learned a lot about the book business. It went on to become a #1 bestseller on Amazon in the summer of 2021. Shout out to Kevin. Immense friend to me, immense impact on my life. Never asked me for a dime. He didn't have to do it. He just took it upon himself to promote my book. My next project will be a book about Kevin. I'm a hero to some and a villain to others. That depends on how you look at it.
You created this space, you're nurturing this space, you're growing this space. Who's welcome into this space? Are you specifically saying this is for black men?
Yes. Black men, put a finer point on it. Black men who are descendants of African slaves here in the United States. Black men whose familial roots reach back well before the Civil War. We see ourselves as kind of like following a tradition of black men like a W.E.B. Du Bois, a Booker T. Washington, a Malcolm X, a James Baldwin, a Martin Luther King Jr., black men who established institutions. We see the Black Manosphere Conclave as an institution, a school, a university of sorts, and we've been, quietly putting things together and trying things out. I have to really give a lot of credit to Theo Waff, and we affectionately call him the Bank of Theo. When the very first 2 conclaves, he bankrolled. He went in his pocket for a princely sum to do the conclave and didn't, bat an eye about it, didn't balk about price, didn't, grumble about, making money back. He just went in. He did the first 2. So we can't keep going back to the Bank of Theo here. We got to make this a money-making venture. People ask us, is it a nonprofit? Absolutely not. This is a private enterprise. We believe we can help black men become the best versions of themselves and make a shit ton of money doing it. That's what we believe. We believe that black men can develop their own institutions, develop whatever it is that we need in terms of an economic and financial base. We're very proud to say we are the only black male event entity that is 100% privately funded. All the others have corporate sponsors and or nonprofit sponsorship. I don't know where we are this year, but last year we were #4 in the country. Of the biggest events for black men, we were #4 in the top 10. We had only been around for 3 years. Black men have everything they need to do whatever we want to do. And I mean everything. You name it, we got black men from all walks of life here. We have several medical doctors. We have lawyers. We have businessmen. We have videographers and photographers, such as the brother that's holding this really nice Sony camera right now. I got to get one of those for my studio. I'm a tradesman myself, 22 years. It runs the gamut. Black men don't need anybody but other black men to make this happen. Very, very happy and very fortunate and truly blessed to be a part of history in the making in the 21st century to carry on that tradition. We also was very inspired by Kevin's example, very profound. We tried to carry on his example, even though he's no longer with us. I still believe he's with us in spirit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.